Good afternoon, everybody. Nick Walsh here again from 2 Clicks Up. Today we're going to do a little review on a little rifle I've had for a couple of years. It's a Mossberg Maverick chambered in 3006 Springfield. I've had this one, as I said, for a couple of years. My first big rifle I bought, and another entry-level rifle. They're all good. They're all functional. They all do what they say they're going to do. This one's a Mossberg, again synthetic stock. Not a bad quality synthetic stock though. We've bedded and floated the barrel. We've lightened the trigger. They come out with a trigger pull somewhere around 8 kilos, which is pretty hopeless. And they come with a pretty ordinary old scope. So what I've done is I've put a Vortex Crossfire 2 in 3 to 9x40 on top of this, with a nice set of medium loophole rings. And it's quite a nice gun to shoot. 3006, obviously it kicks like a horse, but you come to expect that. Now, nice and smooth. The bolt throw is a little bit high, so I've had to put medium rings on that. The rings that it actually came with, the bolt just touched the scope, so I just upped it to medium rings, and that's fine. You still get plenty of cheek on the Monte Carlo stock, so there's no real issue with that. As stated, they're an entry-level rifle. I think I paid about $600 for this one from Rebel Gunworks from memory. Alan Swan did the trigger for me, and Colin and I did the bending and floating, and it's quite an accurate gun to shoot. Shoot it at 50 metres, very difficult. Shoot it at 250 metres, anything you point at drops. It's a really good long-range rifle. I shoot, I'm pushing 165 Horn of the SSTs with 59 grains of 2209, ADI 2209 powder, and that's a load the rifle seems to like. It shot well with 150s, and it also shoots well with 165s. The killing power of these things obviously is quite immense. They're a big cartridge doing somewhere around 2850, 2900 feet a second. So anything you hit with it basically does not complain. Now, I've got a 4-shot magazine capacity. The only fault that I can pick with this rifle, they do not have a dropout base plate. It's a fully enclosed internal magazine, so to unload it, it's got to cycle it. But that's one of those things. You get rid of that, you can you get used to that. That's no big issue at all. Comes with a recoil pad. Again, 3006. A recoil pad is quite often only there for show. A couple of little swivel hitches moulded into the moulded synthetic stock. This synthetic stock, like the knurling and everything like that, is quite good. It's placed quite well. It feels very nice in the hand. It doesn't feel chunky. It doesn't feel cheap. And as I said, it shoots very well. A cheap rifle, it doesn't really matter if it, again, falls over in the truck or something like that. I put a good scope on top of it, but one, again, not having to spend $1 million on a scope. These things, you get them on special for mid-200s. And for what you get for a Vortex scope, I don't want to have a scope debate either, but what you get for a Vortex scope, for the money you pay, lifetime warranties and all that sort of business, I really don't think you can go wrong. I really don't think you can go wrong with these Vortex. I put them on all the big kickers, and my 270's got one, my 22-50's got one, 223OU's has got one. They're a lovely scope, and they don't die. So there we have it. That's the Mossberg Maverick 3006. If you want a nice entry-level rifle in a big caliber, this is just another one. There's 1,000 of them around, of these multiple caliber rifles, or from the smaller ones to the bigger ones. They're all functional. They all do the same thing. It's whatever you find at the time, And with this, bedded and floated, 1,000, good set of loophole rings on it, scope, all that. You've got a 3006 here in your hand, a really good rifle with a really good scope on it for just a dot under $1,000. That's not bad value at all. And there we have it. So thank you very much for watching. Like it, subscribe, and remember, go 2 Clicks Up. See ya.